And I'm here on a mission of mercy. Money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you. Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? Put that coffee down. Put that coffee down. That's my name. That's my name.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Only one thing counts in this life. Get them to sign on the line which is dotted.
Well, happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Monday motivation live stream on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. And that's it. Yeah. Anyway, I want to welcome you guys all and hope that you're having a great start to your week. Monday motivation is all about helping us to get off to that great start and realizing and understanding how important mindset is on Monday, how important it is to embrace Mondays, how important it is to jump out to a great start in the race so that we can finish strong. And once we get past Wednesday, it's all downhill. So couple of things really quick. As a reminder, for those of you that have not taken my LinkedIn learning course on relationship selling, it is live. It's been up for about a week now. We have well over 300 learners on that and climbing every single day. So I would very much appreciate you checking that out and giving us a review. If you enjoy it, if you like the content, give it 5 stars. I think it's worth 5 stars. A lot of work was put into that, and I feel like it's a really impactful course. In addition to that, Shut the Hell Up and Sell. We're out. It is on audio and it is on paperback. So however you consume, get yourself a copy. All right. So today's topic, I want to talk about goal setting. So a little insight on me before we get into this. First, I want to ask you guys that are out there, whatever platform you're watching, how are you as it relates to goal setting? Are you a good goal setter? And if you are, let us know and kind of give me some tips in terms of how you set goals in your life. So for me, goal setting, I have not been a very good goal setter. Goal setting is not it hasn't been one of my strengths. I am very great at 2 things, action and intention. So I put a lot of action out, and my action or my activity, there's intent. So I try not to just do things to do it. I do it with a focus on an outcome. However, you would think that would make me someone that's strong in goal setting, but no. you can kind of do those two things separately, right? So goal setting to me has been something that's been a challenge. And if I were to break it down, maybe some of you can identify with this. Maybe Dr. Rocky, if you're watching this, that's my therapist. Dr. Rocky, maybe you can confirm this in a text to me. I think maybe for me, it may come down to a bit of a fear of failure, right? So I have big ambitious dreams and things that I'm working towards, but maybe putting those official like goals out there for me in some way felt like I was setting myself up for failure. I don't know how many of you can identify with that. Now, over time, I've learned differently, and I am growing and trying to evolve and be a better professional and be more successful. And one of the ways that I'm able to, or rather, I'm working towards to be a better professional is in my goal setting. Here's what I have learned over goal setting, and I talk about some of this in the book. I talk about some of this in the course, because I'm on the same path as you guys. So, and I've put some different lessons in there that I've been personally applying to become better at goal setting. But what I've learned is that it ties back into this concept. Shout out to Randy Reamersmuth of running to the truth and accepting whatever your circumstances are, accepting exactly where you're at. And you can't, if you don't accept your circumstances, you can't create a plan for success, right? You can't get to where you ultimately want to go. So I think, like, for me, I've kind of always been good at accepting my circumstances, but setting that plan in place and breaking everything down in a strategic fashion has not been a strength of mine. So this is what I've been working on. I'm going to share with you guys a very specific use case for me. So this year, as many of you know, of course, my LinkedIn Learning course is live. This is just the start. I have a very ambitious goal of releasing one very high quality course every month this year. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of production that's put into it. And normally what I would do is just promote my ass off. That's how I succeed. I promote very intentionally. However, I'm now going about this in a different manner. Yes, I'm going to promote my ass off, but I'm making sure that we have very strategic goals and objectives and along the way in analytics, right? Like, I'm making sure that we have a plan for success. And I'll just put it out there to you guys. Our objective is 100 courses sold a month. Which I think is a reasonable objective. And normally I would just be like, I put that big number. I'm like, okay, 100, let's go get it. I'm gonna go grind. But what I've learned to do is to start to break that down. Okay, well, how many is that a day? How many is that a week? Is it going to take to get to that objective? Okay, all right. How many touches do we have to have? Meaning, like, how many times? Thinking about all of the little analytical things, like, excuse me, how many times someone has to see something in order to make a decision, a buying decision. So this is when I really kind of broke it down. One, what it does is it helps me to understand, is my objective, is my goal realistic? And two, if I'm going to really get to that goal, I'm going to really get to that objective, what is it going to take? What do I need to do? And so, I've started to really get a lot more granular in setting goals, which again is kind of, it gets my nature, and we're gonna see how it goes. I mean, I'm hoping to knock our numbers out of the park, but I need to make sure that I'm giving myself and giving my team the best chance of success by breaking down by creating measurable goals that we can hold ourselves accountable to, and I can hold myself accountable to for growth. So I want to know, when it comes to goal setting, like, what are some of y'all doing out there? What are some of the tools that you're using? Are you a good goal setter? I've started to add some tools to that work as well for me. So, like, I'm using Asana is a good tool for me that I use. And it's kind of helping me to stay on top of things, and also helps me to assign some different tasks to different people on my team. Let's see what the world, let's see what you guys are saying out there. Sometimes these platforms are, I use StreamYard. I'm thinking about maybe not using StreamYard for our live stream. I don't know. It's easy to use, but my communication isn't always great on this. I can't, because everything doesn't come through the way I want it to, but on the various platforms. So, Mark, what's going on? What's going on, Mr. Shepard? He says, I am not a good goal setter. And what would you recommend? What makes you say that? First of all, that you're not a good goal setter? Is it just what's your process? Like I shared with you guys mine. It's not that I don't set goals, it's just like big grandiose things. And then I'm not so great at the individual, like the smaller steps of setting goals. Like I'm the guy that says, oh, I'm gonna make $1 million this year. And then I just do a whole bunch of shit to try to get there, right? As opposed to breaking it down. Okay, how much is that a month? Oh, it's 78. What is it? 78. I used to know this by heart because that was one of my objectives years ago. And so I held myself accountable to it back then. But anyway, but breaking that down to a granular level. Okay, what does Shep says? He says the strategic part, he struggles with the strategic parts, the smaller steps. Yeah. As do I. As do I. Okay, do I use an app, or his next question? Do I use an app or pen and paper? Yes. There you go, Chef. It's yes. Any and all. Okay, so let me just walk you guys through my journey over the last several years. So if you've read the book, you know that I talk about my notebooks. Okay, I have lots of notebooks. So I am very good at writing notes and things down. Now, in terms of saying, now what that helps is it helps me to get stuff out of my head. Now, does that necessarily help me with goal setting organization? Not so much. Again, it just gets stuff out of my head. So what I've been doing as far as goal setting is I use the hell out of my calendar. I'm very prescriptive when it comes to the calendar. That's one of the ways I'm growing in that respect. Mark, and additionally, I have done the equivalent of vision board, but it's not vision board. It's let me show you guys this app. I'm trying to remember what it is. There is an app. There's an app for that. So with this app, I've created structure. Oh, I got it. I just have to show you. I gotta show you because it's this is super beneficial. Boy, I should have been a little bit more prepared for this, huh, Shep? But I want to make sure you. Oh my gosh, why is the name of this app just? Help me out there, guys. What apps are you using? Oh my gosh, this was a really good one too, and I put a lot of work into it. And it was shareable with different members of my team. I'm getting there. Is it Freeform? Freeform, yes. Freeform. That's one of them. Okay. But that's not my favorite one. Freeform is an app where you can help with that sort of thing, right? But I want to give you my favorite one because it is. I have too many apps. Who else has that problem? I got too many apps. All right, Shep. When I figure it out, man, I'll get back with you on that one. Let's see. what does Tracy say? Tracy says, I also do notebooks and notepads. How often do you go back to review the information you wrote down? Oh, what a great question. So, Tracy, I don't go back very often. I really feel like the notepads at some point in time, I guess my kids and grandkids will look back on this and look at my notebooks and be like, oh man, our grandpa was brilliant. But I don't go back. It's really more of a tool for me to get things out of my head. So it might even be more of like a mental health tool for me, a little less about, I guess, maybe organizational a little bit, because there's just so much going on up there. So I think writing down things does a couple of things. One, it gets things out of your head. And number two, it makes them real. I think that's something I'm an action-oriented guy, right? So like putting something on paper, okay, it's real. Now I'm going to do it, that's really where notebooks really help me. But Mark, I will tell you again, something I'm in every day. I'm in Asana every day. I'm in, of course, my calendar every day. And as you guys, today is like my non-appointment day. I try not to do appointments on these days, and you'll see that like how detailed this is. Like in the morning, I want to make this is something that could help a lot of you salespeople out. I want you to see how I'm starting my Monday. Come on. Okay, can you see it? Okay, you probably can't because it's kind of blurry, so I'm going to read it for you. Every Monday, 7 a.m., 20 minutes cardio, 10 minutes breath work. Okay. Trying to make sure that I get my heart rate up a little bit. And this isn't aggressive cardio. This is just get that blood pumping, right? And then 10 minutes of breath work, deep breathing. Okay. 8 a.m., prospecting. Come on, come through there. Why? Because it's like good energy to start the week. It's good energy to start the day. I love sales. Y'all love sales. Like prospecting gets those juices flowing. So 8 a.m. prospecting. 8:30, I got a blog post. 9 a.m. doing social media work. So I'm looking at the social media strategy. I'm looking at our content. I'm looking at some content of creators that I like. 10 a.m. education. So that's going on to LinkedIn, learning something, reading a book, something, whatever. Anyway, so that's a little bit about what I'm doing. Yep, Mark, Asana. It is spelled Asana. Asana. So you are what you repeatedly do, right? So like this is, I'm sure y'all all read Atomic Habits. So in some ways, this micro goal setting kind of helps to get bigger goals, I guess. So, right? So what is my larger goal? I guess it's just, I don't know. So I guess my goal in that stuff that I'm doing on Mondays is really just to get good energy and to ultimately, be successful in the week and in the month. And I understand that those things that I'm doing, those all will contribute, but I don't have, again, back to my goal setting issue, I don't have like a specific outcome. I just do stuff intentionally with the bigger goal in mind. All right. I went out on a tangent on that one. All right. What else is going on out there? It is, where are we at in the month? We are at the 29th. This is almost the end. How's your January's going? I want to know how the January is going out there for you guys. Mine, not so great, but it's okay. It's okay. It's always kind of a slow one. Little heads up, next week, I'm trying to make sure with this thing, as a lot of you know, I usually talk about the things that I'm just motivated by, or the things that whatever's top of mind for me. But I want to bring, and I probably will always default to that, but I want to bring a little bit more structure to this on a weekly basis. So I'm going to be kind of teasing and talking about some very specific things next week. And again, I'm going to go wherever it goes. So as we start to grow our audience again, As we took about a 6-month break from this. We started to grow the audience. People get used to coming out on Monday. I'm really going to go wherever y'all want to go. It's always going to be about community for me, but I am trying to, just for now, wanting to set kind of a regular kind of structure and let you guys know what we're going to talk about each week. So next week, I'm going to actually talk about building authentic relationships for long-term success, which is a big deal for me right now. This is a lot, and it's a big deal for y'all in business. This is how we succeed long-term, right? And the funny thing is this whole relationship thing and my platform, we're talking about relationship selling. It has actually gone in some ways I didn't anticipate, or maybe just some interpretations of some of the stuff in ways I didn't anticipate. So I'm really excited to kind of really delve into what what it means to build relationships in business and set kind of like proper expectations for that and outcomes. Because I think there's a significant amount of people out there that think relationships is all about, a bunch of superficial stuff, which it is not. It's about value. It's about impact. And so that's really what like my course is about. That's what the book is about, teaching people how to do this, how to build these better relationships, how to build deeper relationships, how to really where you can provide and bring value to people. One of the funny things that I didn't expect or didn't see from this is that that I've gotten some, I think like our veteran sellers and leaders, a lot of them, when they see the course or they see the book, they think that, oh, this is it. Like I actually got a review on Amazon, and this lady was like, she gave it a 4, which should be a 5. She gave it 4, but I appreciate your 4. She's like, yeah, it's a very good book for introductory or entry level sellers. I'm like, nah, you don't get it. No, it's not. Yes, it's good for entry level sellers, but it's even better for those of us that are experienced, because those of us that are experienced, we think that we are so damn smart, and we are smart, but our experience is our handicap because it makes us assume things. It keeps us, we've gotten further and further away from the fundamentals. It's kind of like watching a basketball, like an athlete, like watching a Steph Curry. If you watch Steph Curry pregame, Steph Curry does basic dribbling drills. He shoots, 100 free throws. Why? When the dude can shoot from half court. Because it's those basic fundamentals that make him great and keep him great. And in business and sales, we think that we don't need to do those things, and we get further and further away from it. And that's where guys get in their mid-career and they're like, oh shit, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? Because they've gotten so far away from those fundamentals. Anyway, those are the things I think that we all need to work on. And so I'm going to continue to talk about that. Some of these fundamentals of relationship building, fundamentals of prospecting, the stuff that we've all gotten away from, but we all need to do. That's why when I shared my calendar with y'all saw the very first thing I'm doing on Mondays, I'm doing prospecting. I'm not beyond that. I'm not above that, and neither are any of you. And it all keeps us grounded. It keeps us sharp. It keeps us. It's what, if you're a true professional, if you are true striving for mastery of your craft, this is what you do. What's going on? I see Fred out there. Fred says most visionaries struggle with the strategic goal setting. So have you considered bringing in an integrator? Ooh, okay. What do you mean by integrator, Fred? But you're absolutely right. So Fred says most visionaries struggle with strategic goal setting. Yeah, I would certainly consider myself a visionary. But I also think there's that component of maybe a little bit of fear of failure. So if I don't put them on wax, I can't fail. So Fred, give us some ideas. I want to know what you got in terms of an integrator. Break that down. What do you mean? Do you mean like you mean a coach? You mean a mentor? You mean a therapist or a friend? What's an integrator? And while I'm waiting for Fred's response on that, yeah, Tracy, usually slow, but this year with the with the starting of a new business has been quite really good for you. Good for you, my guy. Yeah, it's been a bit slow. Oh, okay. So Fred's recommendation after reading Shut the Hell Up and Sell is to read Traction. I have that. I'm pretty sure I have that in my Audible. I haven't yet though. Oh, it's on EOS. Okay. So it's a great book, even if you do not follow EOS. So if you guys aren't familiar with EOS, Google it. Big rocks, little rocks. It's really about structure and yeah, I was exposed to that the first time probably like half a decade ago, and that's actually helped me somewhat too, just understanding the principles of EOS. Now that doesn't mean I've applied them often, but they're there in my brain. I think being there in my brain has helped me out a little bit. All right. Mark has another question. Mark says, will you do a talk on business funding at some point in the future? I could. I give the people what the people want. So yeah, I could. Uh there are some things I'm very qualified to talk about and some that I'm not as it relates to business funding. One of the things that I am it's just not part of how of how I was raised or my DNA or my education. I've never been great at getting other people's money. So most of my funding advice, I will self-admit, is all about mostly it's about self-funding because that's what I know. Now, here more recently, I'm working on a couple of projects, and the idea behind those projects is to yes, get outside funding and all that. And again, not my forte. So we've had to the focus is to bring people in that understand that world better. So Mark, that's what I can talk about. I can talk about solopreneur stuff. I can talk about different ways to leverage, different resources to more self-fund, but like, yeah, that the investor models, something I'm working through. But I will share that with you as I work through it. Two schools, you need to hear both. You mean in terms of self-funding or yeah, well, I will tell you like this. From my own personal experience, you're always going to be limited. Right? So like I will be the first to tell you that I've built multiple businesses from nothing to something pretty substantial. And but I felt that at some point I was capped. There was a limit. And if you look at the titans of industry, nobody's self-funded anything. We go look at Uber and Tesla and whatever company, Amazon, like they weren't like, even Microsoft, even though I know we like to talk about Bill Gates and being kind of like self-made in that respect. Not really. Like his first big check was like $100,000 from his dad. So like, yeah, you can have a good life kind of self-funding and everything, but like to really, if you really want to do something big, you have to, that's a skill that you have to either develop or you've got to bring somebody into your group, in your circle that can do that, which is kind of where I'm at. So I got to bring somebody in that can help with that understands that world. All right. Looks like we're at 12:28, which means almost the bottom of the hour. So thank y'all for hanging out with me on this week's Monday Motivation. Appreciate you again. You just kicking it. Hopefully you had a little cup of coffee. If you haven't watched my course on LinkedIn, please do so. Or at the very least, go in there, watch a couple of videos, give us 5 stars. Okay. I'm okay. I'm all right. If you don't got time to do the whole 30 minutes, it's okay. Just give me that 5-star review and help me with this damn algorithm, because they killing me at LinkedIn. Right now. As much as I have a great community and all, yeah, the level of success that I expect on that platform cannot be achieved by me alone. So, and me activating my community, I need their help, but we'll see. Trying to force their hand. Anyway, it's enough about my personal LinkedIn rant. I do appreciate the opportunity and what they've done and making me a part of the team and all that. So I am grateful for all that. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. Have a fantastic week. If you have not done your prospecting yet, go do it. Do some prospecting. The minute you get off of this, go do your 5 for 5. Don't forget, every week, Shitty DMs dropping on Wednesday. So that's a very fun piece of content that we're doing every single week. I'm breaking down a direct message. I'm going through it. I'm talking about, why it's good or why it's bad, and giving it a rating. And it's a fun little project. So people have been responding really well to that. So I appreciate you guys for supporting that piece. And please just tell your friends, man. Help us out with this LinkedIn learning course. If you don't have your copy of the book, please get your copy of the book on audio, paperback, both, please. Okay. And hey, Mark, I appreciate you too, man. Time to prospect. Absolutely. Let's get it in. Okay. Y'all have a fantastic week.